Sad news today as WWE Hall of Famer superstar Billy Graham passes away aged 79. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. And some sad news to discuss today, this morning. Sad news for the professional wrestling world as WWE Hall of Famer and former WWE Champion superstar Billy Graham has passed away at the age of 79. Fellow WWE Hall of Famer Nature Boy Ric Flair broke the news on Twitter, which was later confirmed by the Wrestling Observer newsletter's Dave Meltzer. Quote, "The superstar Billy Graham just left us," Flair wrote. "Thank you for all the influence on my career." Now, Graham had recently been placed on life support after a year that saw the wrestling legend contract COVID-19, a life-threatening ear infection that spread to his skull, inflammation in his lungs, and even renal failure. Graham's doctors nearly took him off life support 2 days ago, but his wife had refused. Graham's influence was not just confined, of course, to the Nature Boy Ric Flair. In his reaction to Graham's passing, Meltzer wrote, quote, "My entire life and tons of others, from Flair to Hogan to Jesse to tons of you, wouldn't know, and tons of you would have changed because of him." Now, superstar Billy Graham, some of you watching today might not be too familiar with his career, but he was a colourful, outsized personality at a time when professional wrestling was still presented as somewhat of a dry sport. With his bulging muscles, bleached blonde hair, and tie-dye attire, Graham was seen by many as the real first sports entertainer, as his garish persona was revered by the likes of Jesse the Body Ventura and even Hulk Hogan. Some could say copied or at least expanded upon. Graham was also known for being one of the first wrestlers to heavily use steroids, a practice that Graham later regretted as his years of steroid abuse took a toll on his health and the health of other workers and wrestlers. Graham has advocated for its responsible use by past WWE champions. Graham was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004 during the class of Madison Square Garden. Of course, that year that was during WrestleMania 20. Now, WWE has released a statement as well, commenting on the passing of superstar Billy Graham. They write, quote, "WWE is saddened to learn that WWE Hall of Famer superstar Billy Graham has passed away. A former WWE champion, Graham's flashy fashion style, over-the-top interviews, and bodybuilder physique created the archetype for a generation of superstars that followed in his footsteps." Born in Arizona, Graham grew a passion for the world of bodybuilding and created his own weights out of cement to begin building his physique. He trained so diligently that he was eventually able to bench 605 pounds, just 11 pounds shy of the world record. Graham's first taste of fame came when one of his photo shoots with Arnold Schwarzenegger was featured in Joe Weider's Muscle and Fitness magazine. When the man born Eldridge Wayne Coleman entered the sports entertainment industry in 1970, he changed his name to Billy Graham in reference to the evangelist. He added the nickname Superstar when he joined the AWA in 1972. With the combination of in-ring ability and a bodybuilder's physique, he established himself as a pioneer of the genre. Graham also continued to compete in bodybuilding and strongman competitions and won accolades for his sculpted and shredded 22-inch biceps. Graham began emulating boxing icon Muhammad Ali in his interviews, coining the iconic line, "I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour." Alongside his equally outlandish manager, the Grand Wizard, Graham spouted that kind of poetic prose weekly on television, using his gift of gab to make himself a box office attraction who would sell out every arena he main evented in. To make himself stand out even more, Graham dyed his hair and goatee different colours and honed a distinctive look that featured outlandish earrings, skin-tight t-shirts, and long, colourful tie-dye tights. The WWE Hall of Famer's blend of standout style, sculpted body, and in-ring dominance laid the foundation for future stars such as Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Jesse Ventura, Scott Steiner, and more. Graham's greatest WWE achievement came on April 13, 1977, when he accomplished the near-impossible feat of toppling Bruno Sammartino from his WWE Championship perch. Superstar held the title for nearly a year, successfully defending sports entertainment's richest prize against icons such as the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, Gorilla Monsoon, and High Chief Peter Maivia, before being dethroned by Bob Backlund in controversial fashion. In 1987, at 44 years old, Graham retired from the ring and transitioned to being a manager and then color commentator. Superstar Billy Graham was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame by Triple H in 2004. 2 years later, Graham's inspirational story and influence on the sports entertainment industry were featured in the WWE documentary 20 Years Too Soon, The Superstar Billy Graham Story. WWE extends its condolences to Graham's family, friends, and fans. Now, when it comes to, certainly, as I mentioned, the influence of superstar Billy Graham, he is certainly without parallel. He is one of the greatest promos in professional wrestling history. His physique and gift of gab not only led to a tremendous WWF Championship reign, defeating, as I mentioned, Bruno Sammartino and holding the belt for almost 10 months before losing it to Bob Backlund, but inspired a number of stars that included, as I mentioned, the likes of Jesse the Body Ventura, Hulk Hogan, Scott Steiner, among many others. Certainly, again, incredibly sad, and it's always sad when you lose an icon of the professional wrestling world, and certainly, as I mentioned, he was inspirational, and I think it's right when they say that certainly he was most likely 20 years too soon. He was someone that did lay the foundations for the more over-the-top, more theatrical, more larger-than-life, and kind of awe-inspiring talents that we ended up seeing into the 1980s with the likes of Hulk Hogan, with the likes of Jesse the Body Ventura, with the likes of Ric Flair, even though Ric Flair was more on the promo side of things, certainly. But as I mentioned, Graham, real name Eldridge Wayne Coleman, passed away at the age of 79 after being placed on life support just days prior. As I mentioned, Coleman's wife Valerie said the doctors wanted to remove him from life support on Monday. However, she refused. Tributes have already begun to pour in. Of course, we will do a full tribute video featuring all of the comments, tributes, and thoughts from all of professional wrestling stars across all industries, across all companies such as WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, etc., etc. And it's certainly worth paying tribute to someone, as I mentioned, that truly laid the foundations and really paved the way for a lot of pro wrestling that you enjoy today. Again, that more character-focused, larger-than-life promos, taking a bit from Muhammad Ali, but also, if you go and watch a superstar Billy Graham promo, you see a lot of things that you see today and you kind of take for granted. As mentioned, that over-the-top personality, the look, the physique, the bleach blonde hair, the goatee, the flamboyance that we associate with the top heel. And I remember that Vince McMahon Sr., as the story goes, this just shows how laid out things were back in the day. He told superstar Billy Graham the date that he would be winning the WWF Championship and also the date that he'd be losing it. He said to him, "You're going to be winning it on this date from Bruno Sammartino. You're going to be losing it on this date to Bob Backlund." And that's exactly how it played out. And it's just fascinating, again, to look back on his career. So certainly, as I mentioned, we'll get more reaction to this today. We'll do a tribute video as well to superstar Billy Graham, but certainly a massive loss for professional wrestling. As always, let me know your thoughts, your condolences, all in the comment section below. Thoughts and prayers go out to superstar Billy Graham. He will be forever missed.